Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is Kathryn Perry, and you're absolutely in the right place at the right time because this is the Commanding Wealth Circle. And at the time of this recording, it is the last circle of 2024, and it's New Year's Eve, and last night was a new moon. So we're in this really powerful time of intention right at the start of the new year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it's also a time there's a lot of clearing going on about let's get clear about what you truly want and what that looks like for you. It's about being authentic. For a long time, we were told, hey, you have to become the thing, right? You have to put on the clothes, put on the role. You have to act as if and be that thing that's outside of you, that you're perceiving to be outside of you, right? And I think that there was some wisdom in that teaching because that was a path of growth. What happened was a lot of people could not be anything other than themselves and say, what do I need to develop and grow within myself? What skills do I need to acquire? What beliefs do I need to let go of or adopt in order to fulfill the vision that my true self is showing me who I truly am and what's possible in my life? Do you see the difference in those two frameworks? And I really think with us coming into this, we're in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is moving into Pluto, and this is creating a huge shift and ripple. I'm an Aquarian with Aquarius rising and a Virgo moon. And so I feel like all my energies are kind of growing, but we're having to ask new questions, right, of ourselves. We're having to be able to get out of our own mind. And we've taught that a lot with the one command. And a lot of teachers teach that in coming into the observer, coming into that higher place. And we do that through the 6 steps of the one command. And where we're coming up and we're aligning to that greatness, that greater power, or the greatness that's already within us. You could call it your higher self. And so I'm explaining all this just so that you kind of know what's on the back of and behind and supporting everything that we're going to be talking about today. Okay. The end of the month, usually we are looking backwards to say, hey, I set this intention at the first of the month. I'm going to look back and what were the lessons along the way? What did I gain? What did, hey, what were the actual results? And you have to be able to look at it objectively. Okay. And what we also need to do is be grateful for all things so that we can take the learning and we can release it. And the thing with when we want to manifest, attract, or create something new, it is already done, right? But what happens is as we're moving forward, sometimes we have to stop. Sometimes we're trying new things, and and we get this feedback system, and it's telling us that failure, right? The hypothesis, that attempt did not work. And a lot of times people get bogged down and they go, well, I tried it once, I tried it 3 times, I tried it 20 times, and it still didn't work. But they never adjusted their thoughts, the behaviors. They didn't look at the actual steps, because a lot of times instead of commanding, they were wishing and they were hoping. And so we're not going to go into a big teaching on that. I've already actually said more to you about all of this than I intended. You guys just pull all this out of me every week. But what we're going to do is, rather than looking at this past year, because you did have an intention last year and you probably forgot because life gets in the way and there's all these fires to put out and cars break down and people come into our lives or people leave and things just don't go as we thought. But I want to just invite you to cast your mind before we look to the future on what it is that we want to attract, create, or manifest, even in the next month. Let's take a moment and go, really, what was my intention last year? And spend some time just for a moment. We're going to do this through just a little meditation so that we can take all the blessings and the learning. Okay. Then we have that intention, this greater intention that, we have our intention of, hey, this is the life I want to create. And then we have the goals, and then we have the KPIs, the key practices, right? We have the key actions that we have to take, that we have to, in order to achieve the goals. But we're going to be kind of high level, and we're going to be looking at that bigger picture, and we're going to connect in with our greater self. Does that sound fun today? So that we can consciously create with a full open heart this new year. And I know we're coming into this year with an extra level of uncertainty, but I just want you to know that the only uncertainty is really not the forces outside of you. The one thing you can count on is that there's always change. And you have to make a decision that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And you have to think about, how can I be the best version of myself? Right? When we started saying, hey, there's all that stuff we were told we have to do, and we go, hey, here's what I want to create. What's going to be the best version of yourself? How do you want to show up? I want to show up more community minded. My natural intensity. I love getting out in front of people. I love being part of stuff. If most of my career, and a lot of times I describe myself as a professional thumb. And that was because, and I've been in leadership roles and different things, but I always was in this position to work and support different departments. And maybe I had the owner's interest when I was an department manager, and I had to work with the vendors and serve the clients, right? So when I say I was a thumb, I touched different departments. And this is really my best role, was being in support of other people so that we have more power. You have to close that thumb to make a fist, right? And so my internal positioning is always going to be a thumb. Because of health issues and some things that I recently discovered, because I said, hey, I don't think I'm having a moral, a character issue here. I'm a hard worker. What's going on with me? It turns out, for the last few years, and I'm going to be transparent, I have been struggling with undiagnosed anxiety, depression. And I used to get down, but I used those down times to recover and reboot. Well, I was in this up and down, and the anxiety, especially after the election, was getting to me. And I said, you know what? I've done everything I know to do. I'm going to go check in with a doctor. Let me get some blood work. Turns out I got some serotonin imbalance issues, and I got some things. And so for the time being, on some new medication right now. It seems to be working, and I feel no shame. And there's a time I would have felt shame, right? And right now I'm like, how am I going to allow myself to be supported in the best way possible? Okay. And so that's also in the undercurrent, okay, of everything that we're talking about. I have something I want to share with you. I love this, Joan. I don't know how I have creator's understanding, definition, of perspective of wishing, commanding, and creating. Ooh, thank you for sharing that. I don't know how I take action on the intention and goals I set. Wow. Yes, that's a goodie. Thank you so much. How many people are on Chat GPT? Who's been playing with that? They have a free version, chatgpt.com, and it's set up so that you can actually have a conversation with it. I'm on the $20 a month paid version. And one of the things is they had an astrology program. I was like looking at all the cool stuff they do, and it's really been helpful for me in how I think about things. And because I always need a partner and a brainstorming partner, and it has really been very useful and helpful for me. Somebody on TikTok recommended this set of prompts that I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to share with you what came up for me. And so I'm going to share it in the PDF in the chat. It's loading right now. And this is just a gift. We're not going to go over it. But the idea is that we're role playing as this person. We're actually our higher self, and we're in this form. And so it's having a conversation with Chat GPT. Hey, I'm this being who's role playing as Kathryn Perry, and I have some questions for you. And it's a really beautiful exercise. It's just for insight. You don't have to do anything it suggests. In fact, it's probably the most loving, supportive messages I ever got back. But I'm sharing the prompts with you, and I'm sharing my personal response that I got. And I encourage you, even if you just wanted to use them as journal prompts, it's a very useful tool. So that's just my gift to you. I hope you enjoy it, play with it. I have it in the chat box, and I will share the PDFs when I email out the recording. Okay. I want to say hello right quick because I see Sue Bergman. Hello. We got Sharon, Shamim is on, Sandy, Linda. I'm sure, let's see, Leslie and Larry. Hey, Larry, Joan, Hannah, I'm so happy to see you. Emily's on. Emily, I'm so sorry to see that your phone got stolen, but I'm happy that you're able to be on with us today. And I see beautiful Carmen with us. So thank you so much. I'm going to open this up right quick. Let me stop the sharing and open this up, pin my video. Get this bigger so I can actually see with my little spectacles here. I want to check in before we do all of this. So what are we doing today? We are going to be setting our intention. What do we want to for the coming year? What we will be doing, just to remind y'all, is through this, we're going to be doing a little meditation, and we're going to be through an expanded state of mind, looking back on the past year. Okay, and some challenges, some wins, some losses. And this is going to be just an open meditation directly from our higher self. All of me is going to be having a conversation with all of you. And then we're going to be setting our intention. And usually we share so that we can witness and support. Today, I want you to plant that intention deep in your heart. Okay? You're going to plant that deep in your heart so that it can grow. We're not going to talk about it yet. The only time I want you talking about it is, hey, if you're going on a walk, for me, I process verbally. I process verbally. And I can have quiet meditation, and I do a lot of work. I've been waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, being told to do spiritual work. But when I'm really processing and I want to command, I have an out loud conversation with me and the creator. And I command and I get answers, and it's a big open conversation. And when I start saying, this is what I want, I do command for it out loud. Okay. But we're going to write it down, plant it deep in your heart. And then, of course, I don't know if y'all can hear it. They have started doing the yard work, so I apologize. Okay. I'm going to give it just a second. He's coming right to the darn window. Can y'all hear that noise? No? Okay, good. My speaker is working. Okay. you're just getting on the call, welcome. I explained to some folks, I got a little Christmas present called a cold from my sister's family when we delivered Christmas presents. If I suddenly am sweating or I need to pause a second, I'm okay. I just got to take care of myself for a second. Okay. All right. First, I want you, and if you have a pen and paper, this may help you, but if you can remember, I just want you to think about this. I want you to just close your eyes and remember this time last year, right after Christmas, and you were thinking about the coming year. You were thinking about things you needed to create, to take care of yourself, to provide for yourself. You had some things you wanted to create because you always wanted to try it. And then there was something you felt like it was time to create. But if you can remember, and even if you can't, just let an answer come up. What was it that you wanted to attract, create, or manifest for 2024, the coming year? And as you're thinking about that, and you're thinking about why you wanted that, because this is going to help you get into alignment. Now, you might have had a strategy, a big idea that you thought would make it easier. But why did you want to create that? Why do you want to manifest it? And there could have been some challenges. And go ahead and just think about the challenges that rose up. Was it obstacles from the outside, or did your self-doubt come in? Did you find yourself getting into confusion? Did you get bogged down? Did suddenly seem like there were a lot of things to take care of outside of you that you had no control over? Just notice. And whatever that was, whatever happened, either consciously created, unconsciously created, or out of the blue, whatever that is, we're just going to bless it. Oh, the Bible says, be grateful for all things. Praise God for all things. So I don't know who you talk to, but right now, all the obstacles, all the challenges that came up, all the setbacks, let's just take a moment and be grateful for them. Thank you. And you might find this difficult. So you might say, I don't know how to be grateful and praise Creator for all things. I only know I'm making the decision to praise now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how all things, even when it looked like it was against me, actually work for my good. I only know all things are working together for my good now, just as they have always worked for my good. And I am fulfilled. And a lot of times when we're remembering and we're thinking back, we're just going to let all that go, release it. As we think about the year, we try to think about big moments, but there might have been some lovely small moments, like in the morning, having a nice warm drink, looking out your window and seeing the sunlight as it begins to illuminate the day and watching the colors. And you just get to see the beauty of that sunlight washing the world before you. And the sun's just being the sun, doing the sun thing. The earth isn't doing anything extra. The atmosphere may be bright, maybe a little misty, maybe rainy. And it's just being itself. And look how the light and the earth and your environment in just that moment was perfect. Maybe you got to wake up from a deep, restful sleep in your own bed, warm and safe. Maybe someone you care about or love, and you got to have a moment with them. And it was a real moment. And it was perfect. There could have been some, we think about challenges, but there could have been some wins. There could have been some miracles. And sometimes miracles show up and we think, oh, yeah, that happened because of this, or boy, that was lucky. I wonder if you could just think about how many miracles happened over the last year that maybe you weren't even aware of, but just allow this space, an acknowledgement of the miracles in your life. There could have been some near misses. There could have been unexpected blessings. The miracles. In this moment, we're just going to go ahead and just to expand this space and this awareness. I don't know how. I am expanding my consciousness to be aware of the miracles in my life and the moments that I am blessed to be a miracle for someone else. I only know I am so grateful for the blessings and the miracles that I am allowed to give and receive. And then there's been some learning. Maybe you've learned some new skills. Maybe you've had some new awareness. Maybe you've noticed some patterns that it was time to let go of. Maybe there were some relationships that you finally had the resources to let go of. There were some changes that you were able to enact. But just think about everything that you were able to have that you were able to create a powerful effect in your own life. Now, isn't that a better way to think of good or bad? Like, wow, look at how I was able to create a powerful effect in my life. Just by making a new decision, just by acquiring a new skill, just by finding a resource, just by letting go. Wow, I did that. And of course, our beautiful mind goes, yeah, but there were some other effects you created that maybe you weren't aware of. What are you going to do about those? We're going to bless them, because everything we did according to the best of our ability in the moment. So if there's anything in me, and you could just think this, if there's anything in me that somehow created harm or a negative effect for another, I forgive it. I release it, and I ask it be turned into a blessing. Actually, what would be more powerful to say, and I command those effects to be converted into a powerful positive effect for others. Do you feel the difference in that? This year, you did a lot of healing. You met your shadow. You reached out and connected with your wounded child. You healed the mother in you, the father in you. You healed family systems. You changed karma. You set the captives free. And I just want you to acknowledge that and tune in to that expansive state within you that exists now that had never been able to exist before. The peace, the greater ease, the greater understanding, but most of all, the wisdom that came as a result of your healing. Right now, in your mind's eye, or however you see internally, I want to just invite your higher self to show you what that has created in the world because of your healing. When you raise the vibration of your consciousness, there are no small things. And witness it, witness all of that good beginning to return to you. And I wonder what else is going to be possible for you to create as you think about this next year. So ground yourself into the here and now. And I know there's things that you need. I know there's things that you want to experience because you denied yourself so long that experience because of life, of obligations, beliefs. And believe me, there's no judgment. It's okay, be a little selfish. You've been selfless. What is it you really want? And you may discover it's no big thing, really, but you denied yourself. And then there's something greater. You realize that there is a greater effect that you want to have on your own life, in your community, in your family, in the world. And what is that? If you like playing the money game and you say, I want to master the money game this year, I really want to master it from a place of authenticity. I really want to learn about it and truly take responsibility for my wealth and well being. Or if you say, you know what, I'm done with the money game, I want to play the creativity game and see what I can create. Okay, that was fun. Now I want to create the deep relationship game. Now I want to play the community support game. I want to create the speaker game. I'm going to create the leader game. And whatever it is, tune in and say, yeah, truly, is that what I want? Now, you may have an idea about your capacity, your ability to create that. Don't worry about that yet. But if you want to create that, you want to play that new game, makes sense. There's some new equipment that you may have to acquire. You're going to have some skills, and you're going to be developing some new relationships to support this game you want to play. So right now, as you're thinking about, yeah, this is the thing I want to create, how about we just allow yourself to trust and know that whatever skills, whatever resources, whatever learning, right, whatever you have to unlearn, whatever training, whatever retraining is necessary, that you can 100% trust yourself to do whatever's necessary, because what's holding you up is you haven't looked at that honestly and you haven't said, I'm committing to that. And the reason you haven't is because you haven't trusted yourself to follow through. So I don't know how, here's your command. I don't know how. I have supernatural trust in myself and in all the levels of my experience and my being to learn, adapt, and apply whatever is necessary to fulfill my desire. I only know I do now, and I am fulfilled. Now, just allow yourself to expand. In fact, roll your eyes up for a second. Go up a bit. Pardon me. Send your consciousness up, higher, up, up, up. And now, just let your eyes relax. And now you're just going to let yourself expand. Expand into an idea of yourself that is greater. Now we're rewording that. Normally say we allow that idea to expand to an idea greater than itself, but I'm inviting you to witness yourself expanding into something greater than your old idea of yourself. Allow yourself to embody that greater self fully, with your memories intact of this human life. But I also want to invite you to remember that from this position, you have the ability to go onto any timeline. You can join any position in the multiverse. And your soul may be saying, this is the timeline, this is the place. or you may have said, really, let's get on to another one. But from that higher self, allow yourself to move into the ideal timeline. In the correct dimension, where you can fully and freely express, create, and have greater experiences of yourself in the world. Right now, I'm just aligning with you and I'm witnessing you. And you may not even be on this live call listening to me live, but you are absolutely here now and I see you. Now ask yourself again, as your fully embodied higher self, that greater self, and we have this time period in a place called Earth, called 2025, what do you want to create, attract, or manifest? Now, right now, you can make some notes for yourself. I don't want you to forget. I'm going to tell you a secret. When you do this, your higher self knows this is possible and it knows it's already done. And it knows that there's nothing left to heal. It's you living, moving, breathing, operating from this greater state of being. And you might say, I like that. Make it so. Or you might say, I want to adjust it. Adjust it. There may be some corrections. There may be some clarifications. So if you have some old business that you would like to see resolved in 2025 and resolved in a fair and equitable way, or resolved in a way that is in alignment with your highest and greatest good, let's go ahead and resolve any old business that needs to be resolved. I don't know how. Roll your eyes up. I don't know how. Any unfinished business that from 2024 and beyond, I command be resolved in the fairest, most equitable, and the highest and best way for benefit for all and no and harm to none. I command it be so now, and I am fulfilled. Is that property to be sold? Is that things to get rid of? Is it paperwork? Whatever it is, you command that it's all completed and resolved. Now, just for a moment, send your consciousness up a bit higher, still embodying that higher and greater self, and witness all of this business being concluded. The property sold, the documents coming, the checks coming, the new house, whatever. Any old karma, it's the same thing. It is commanded that any unresolved karma now be resolved. Make it so. Any karma ties that no longer serve me are to be dissolved and the energy released. Now we've cleared the past from your higher self. What's coming in? What's next? I'm hearing simply say thank you. It's done. It's done. It's done. Now feel yourself from this greater self you fully embodied, this greater version of yourself. Feel yourself coming back down into this human form. Oh, it looks so tiny. Like the mighty genie, right? The big, powerful genie coming back in this little tiny lamp. But look how easily you're doing that. And as you're doing that and coming back into your body so that you can fully embody and activate the new levels of consciousness, thinking, processing, the new skills. Yeah, you can literally, like Neo, download some skills so that learning is easier. And we're turning in whatever attraction factor. It's like I'm seeing like this turbo coming on, and it's powering up these really powerful magnets within you. What a beautiful image. And what's happening is it's increasing your ability to attract to you that which you desire is in your highest and greatest good. And what else do magnets do that are not the match, that are not the correct polarity? It repels it. And now just witness those magnets attracting to you and naturally repelling that which is not the match. Unwind, 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 rewind, rewind, rewind. And now you may start getting a vision, or you could command it. I don't know how I have a vision of my next steps. And allow yourself to be in that big vision, but there could be some little small things too. What are some things that you are seeing, like little vignettes, little scenes are starting to appear? Are you speaking before a group? Are you in a relationship with a highly influential person? Are opportunities coming to you? Are you spending more time in nature? Are you at the beach with your toes in the sand thinking, I am so proud of myself for getting myself here, and I'm just going to celebrate the moment? Whatever those vignettes are, with your loved one, and you're cuddling and you're talking about something wonderful that happened. If you're looking at the numbers coming in for your business, or new channels of income coming to you. Maybe there's a relationship that you desire and it hasn't been what you've wanted it to be. And witness the healing of that relationship. The restoration is the word I'm hearing. And everything that brought you to this, all things that work together for your good, for your learning, for your betterment, your growth. Just allow yourself to be in gratitude and appreciation in advance so that you can create and co-create in this field of gratitude and appreciation. Feel yourself coming as you're in your body. Feel yourself fully occupying your body. Grounding in to this time here and now. Wiggle your toes. Feel yourself settled into your hips. Allow yourself to adjust for this greater power that's operating within you. And now, when you think about the coming year, what are your feelings? Your intuition and guidance may be talking to you. But we always say the next step is divine action. So ask yourself as you tune into your heart, what are my first steps to manifest this life I'm creating in 2025? And give yourself a moment. You may have to find your fingers and get them to rematerialize and wrap around a pin. But you may take a note, like, what's necessary? What are my first steps? And when you're ready, come back. Let's stretch. Oh, remember? There we go. And I like to just kind of integrate everything. There's been a lot of healing. Oh, we've activated your very powerful magnet. Oh. Who's back? How was that? Yeah, good, good. I'm gonna give you a second. If you have some water or tea or something to drink, get a little sip. That it helps to ground you. And it's a little chilly where I am. It's a little blustery. If you have a chance to, I always advise people get your feet on the ground. But if you can at least go out and touch some plants, get your hands in some water. Like, not that you could just run your hands underwater, but if you could, like, even like some water in a bin and just kind of let your hands soak, get yourself just kind of reorganized. Okay. Larry's saying really powerful. Thank you. Who was thank y'all for joining with me because we channeled this together. We co-created this, so thank you. But who was surprised? Like I'm with you, I'm doing it, I'm leading it, but I was seeing stuff for myself. And one of the things that I just saw let go is, like, I saw this little tattered box of criticisms. And my mother was very self-critical. You wouldn't know it because she'd say, oh, to know means to love me. But I discovered after my dad died and we were spending all this time together, because she was learning to date and dress in a modern way, I got to kind of coach her. And I found out how insecure my mom really was, and how it'd be like how much power she had to pull up to go to the next level. Well, I had that internalized. And being the firstborn daughter, I've got that really critical, not good enough, that imposter syndrome thing. And, I'm not attractive enough, or I'm too old now, or all that's past, or, I have this little tattered box of old criticisms that don't even apply. I watched it just disintegrate. And it was like, well, that's going to be interesting, because overcoming that created energy to do the next thing. That was my mom's strategy, to say, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway, or they're doing it, so I'm going to do it. Right. So when we disintegrate that old idea, you have to take a moment to reorganize. So if you find yourself in a pause for a second, go, just acknowledge you're not dumb. You're not going blank. Okay. Don't say that stuff to yourself. What's happening is you're reorganizing. You're going, well, my transderivational search is to first criticize myself, right? To be mean to me, and then go, now I'm just going to go, what's going to be like to just decide to do something and take action? So I feel like a lot of that, like, I saw that clearing, not just for me, but I saw it as part of the collective. Emily, don't worry, you will be getting the recording, and I'm going to send the audio version of this too, in case people want to just be able to listen to it, so they don't feel like they have to watch it. Okay. All right. It's about time for us to leave. But I wanted to just check back and see if anybody had any comments or anything they wanted to share about what we just experienced together. Oh, hello, Sandy.
Hi, somebody else had already said it, but it really kind of rang a bell for me when you said it's commanding rather than wishing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh yeah, it seems like such a subtle thing, but when you put words to it, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I was in like doing the work kind of my prayer time, and I realized there was a moment I was just going, oh please God, this. I was like, wait. And my spirit immediately corrected. I said, no, command. I've given you power of life and death in your tongue. Command, speak it. And I just immediately self-corrected. And so I think we're going to start hearing and feeling the things that we need to correct a lot sooner. So thank you. I really appreciate you so much.
That happened to me yesterday. I said the same thing. I was begging and pleading, please, please. And I was like, you know what? Pardon my French. Fuck this. Get it together. Now it stops.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to move forward now. And then it did. It changed. And it was the strangest thing. So that's ironic that you're saying that today. Because yeah, I was in that, oh God, please, please. And I was just, I mean, it almost became a chant. And then I caught myself
Yeah.
and I self-corrected, but I was like, no, no more begging. Get it
That's
together.
that's it. That's it. That's so powerful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Larry wrote, speak it, write it, feel it. Absolutely. And then I've been getting a lot of this about, hey, what's the difference in trust, belief, and faith, right? And so there's this something, I feel like I'm getting this deeper teaching. And the main thing was trust in ourselves, that, we're not having to trust this power outside of ourselves anymore. It is up to us. And what stops us is like, and I know it stopped me, it'd be like, hey, with my ADHD, I'm brilliant at planning. And then I will write the whole thing. I mean, I've set up post systems and the next day forget I did it. I'd go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then I'd start creating a new thing. Like, but I definitely feel like there's been a difference on that. I've been working on things to like stay committed, but I live with stickies. Like if there's something I'm working on, like it's right here, and until it's complete, it's not allowed to come off. And I have to consult. This little sticky is keeping me on track. So um I am going to make a little um announcement. I am moving the platform. Everything that we do will still meet on Zoom, but I need to dedicate at least the next month, like fully focus on getting some things set up in my business. And I just won't have the bandwidth to do the circle and that. And so I'm going to take January off. I will stay in communication with you. I will probably I've got an idea for a little workshop I want to do, but I've got to dedicate serious time to get this set up, and I want to just have all my focus and energy on this one thing. It's there's a platform I want to set up on so we can have more of a community exchange, and I want to be off of Facebook. And then I want to take all of my old classes, like the Commanding Wealth, and then I have so many, I can't even name them all. But I want to get all of that teaching onto one place so that one, there'll be a free level, but then there may be some paid levels, but I don't want them very expensive. One, so that my work can be supported. But two, you're not looking at all these places or waiting for an email to hear back from me. Okay. So that we have one home. And I know a couple of people are going, I'm just not on Facebook. I don't get anything. And I haven't wanted to be on Facebook for a while. And so because there wasn't an alternative, I really haven't done the stuff I knew I wanted to do. So that was part of my resistance. And I'm pretty excited because I can pull all the stuff off my hard drive and give it one home and then have a place that we can all meet. Okay. And so there will be a free level, like we'll keep this going. And then if there's stuff you want to learn, you can take that too. So that's my plan. And that's everything I'm setting up. Okay. And that's all I don't know if y'all remember, like for a year, I did like a daily one command. You remember those? And then I had a period where we did this Legacy of Greatness call for 2 years. And I have all these recordings, and it's like, I just want to make sure that that didn't get lost. Okay. Yes, Larry, I am putting, there will be a paid membership. And if anybody ever wants to send me money, I will never, ever tell you no. Okay. I just want y'all to know. So it's always yes. And the only other offer I've let people know before Christmas, but this is the time of year to really be looking at the vision. And I have a 4-step process where we go through like, hey, what is the thing you want to create? Let's look at your capacity. But we're going to really be spending time on that deeper, true self. And then from that true, greater self, then we're going to get the vision and then what the action steps are. And so I'll be sending out a deeper email about that, but that is available for the start of the year. Okay. Pardon me. Well, I think I've kind of run to the end of my voice right now, and y'all got stuff to do. We're getting ready for our New Year's party. And I just want to let you know how much I love you and appreciate you so much. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. I love you. And until next time, I witness your mastery. Bye-bye, everybody.